Good morning, and welcome to Mission Viejo's Memorial Day ceremony presented virtually while we continue striving to keep our community safe. I am Mayor Trish Kelly, and on behalf of my council colleagues, I thank you for joining us today. Each year, we set aside this day to pay solemn tribute to patriots who gave their last full measure of devotion for this country that we love. And while the nature of war has changed over that time, the values that drive our brave men and women in uniform remain constant. Honor, courage, selflessness. We are grateful to every man and woman who bravely served our country. And now, I would like to introduce Chaplain and First Lieutenant David A. Godley, United States Air Force, who will deliver the invocation, followed by the presentation of colors and the singing of the national anthem.
Greetings to everyone. My name is Chaplain First Lieutenant David Godley, and I'm currently stationed not too far away at Los Angeles Air Force Base under the 61st Air Base Group commanded by Colonel Becky Beers. First off, I would like to thank the City of Mission Viejo Recreation and Community Services Department, Leslie McDonald and her staff, for this incredible opportunity to honor all that wore the uniform. Whether the uniform was blue, green, black, brown, a mix of camouflage, or some other combination, the sacrifice was the same, for freedom's sake while fighting for our country. All over this country in the past year, we all have had to make varying degrees of sacrifice. No one ever fathomed before that we would be in the position of losing the many hundreds of thousands that we have lost since the beginning of this pandemic. It has claimed every ethnicity and people group. On that note, on this Memorial Day, for everyone who has lost a friend, loved one, or relative, my condolences and heart goes out to you. As a former enlisted member, I have seen the effect of loss and grief on the family. Having deployed to Southwest Asia amid Operations Enduring and Iraqi Freedom, seeing the transfer of human remains is mesmerizing, but also solidified the patriotic spirit in me. Each member who gave his or her life did so knowing that the oath they had taken was not in vain. They made their family proud, but also proudly served their country. Memorial Day is about celebrating these brave men and women. It's about honoring their memory and memorializing them as what I like to say, true American citizens. In everything that is intended to separate us in this country, we cannot let those who fought so valiantly lose their lives along with their contribution to fulfilling the ideals of America. The reasons that each man or woman choose to serve are many, yet those many varied reasons streamline into a uniform that signifies commitment and unity to a common cause to all American citizens. Each branch of service has its purpose and mission, but the Department of Defense as a whole has a mission. Its mission is to provide the military forces needed to deter war and ensure our nation's security. I'm thankful for each member that has worn the uniform, endured the strain, and made the sacrifice so that I can stand here today. For the loved ones who lost a service member, please know that the military community thanks you for your support, understanding, and sacrifice. For every member that serves, it is the family that has to endure and carry on the memories left behind and further champion their cause and passion. Although we are unable to gather together in person, my sentiments of gratitude are no less genuine virtually. I'm thankful that on this day that I can rely on and advocate the God of all comfort, who comforts us in all our afflictions, so that we will be able to comfort those who are in any affliction with the comfort with which we ourselves are comforted by God. Once again, thank you to the City of Mission Viejo and Leslie for inviting me out for this commemorative occasion. God bless.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready, begin. I pledge
allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Chaplain Godley, for your moving invocation. I'd also like to thank Dawn Wright for her incredible rendition of the national anthem. It is a privilege to serve Mission Viejo with my council colleagues. Council Member Ed Sachs, Council Member Greg Raths, Mayor Pro Tem Wendy Bucknam, Council Member Brian Goodell. They will share the stage with me throughout this program. Our city takes pride in displaying the American Hero tribute banners you see in the Kershaw Garden each year. To extend community safety, we continue at the drive-through display in the courtyard outside of the library and City Hall through June 4th. I encourage you to drive through and view these banners that honor the fallen soldiers who gave their lives in the wars on terror in Iraq and Afghanistan. If they could speak to us, what would they say? Perhaps they might say that while they could not know they'd be called upon to storm a beach through a hail of gunfire, they were willing to give up everything for the defense of our freedom. That while they could not know, they'd be called upon to jump into the mountains of Afghanistan and seek an elusive enemy, they were willing to sacrifice all for their country. That while they couldn't possibly know they would be called to leave this world for another, they were willing to take that chance to save the lives of their brothers and sisters in arms. Etched on the banners, you see words of wisdom from people like Lance Corporal Fabry, a member of Headquarters Battalion, 1st Marine Division. The night before his death, he said, "There are heroes and there are legends. Heroes are remembered, legends never die." These many generations of legends live on in our minds and our hearts. And to all active duty military and our veterans, we thank you for your service. Now I invite Councilmember Greg Raths to introduce our esteemed keynote speaker.
Colonel Folsom is the commanding officer of our adopted Headquarters Battalion, 1st Marine Division. Born to a U.S. Navy family in Monterey, California, He earned his commission through the Platoon Leaders Class program and later graduated from the University of Virginia with a Bachelor of Arts in International Relations. Colonel Folsom went on to earn many educational distinctions from institutions like the Naval Postgraduate School and the Marine Corps War College. His vast service in the Fleet Marine Force stemmed from platoon commander and the commanding officer of 3rd Battalion, 7th Marine Regiment, to Commander Company D in Iraq for Operation Iraqi Freedom in 2003, and the 3rd Battalion, 7th Marines in Afghanistan for Operation Enduring Freedom in 2011 and 2012. He also led the Task Force Lion in Iraq for Operation Inherent Resolve in 2017 and 2018, among many other efforts. The Colonel is highly decorated and holds 3 Bronze Star medals and the Combat Action Ribbon. Along with his service, Colonel Folsom is the author of 3 books. He and his wife Ashley live in Oceanside with their daughters Emery and Kinsey. Please welcome Colonel Seth Folsom.
My name is Colonel Seth Folsom, and I'm the commanding officer of 1st Marine Division's Headquarters Battalion, the Standard Bearer Team. On May 5th, 1868, General John A. Logan, a veteran of the American Civil War, called for a nationwide day of remembrance, choosing the generic name Decoration Day, because it wasn't the anniversary of any particular battle. On that first Decoration Day, future President James Garfield spoke at Arlington National Cemetery, where 5,000 attendees decorated the graves of the 20,000 Civil War soldiers buried there. Eventually, Decoration Day became known as Memorial Day, originally honoring only those service members lost during the Civil War. Over time, the holiday evolved to commemorate American military personnel who died in all wars and conflicts fought by our country. For the first 100 years after its inception, Memorial Day was observed on May 30. But in 1968, Congress passed the Uniform Monday Holiday Act, which declared Memorial Day a federal holiday and established the last Monday in May in order to create a 3-day weekend for federal employees. Over the years, Memorial Day has become a day where Americans typically visit cemeteries and memorials to pay their respects to fallen friends and loved ones. Many also use the occasion to celebrate time off with family and friends as spring ends and the summer months approach. This Memorial Day, as I reflect on the personal sacrifices of those in uniform who have gone before me, I will particularly remember the 8 young men who served by my side and fell in combat in Iraq and Afghanistan. Jesus Suarez del Solar, Jordan Bastine, Jason Barfield, Nicholas Daniels, Joshua Corral, Zachary Reif, Christopher Singer, and Joseph DeAugustine. These 8 men still live in my heart and my memories, and I'm honored for the opportunity to have served with them. On this Memorial Day, I will also take the time to remember the Gold Star families of those fallen heroes. They too have made a different kind of sacrifice. I hope you will join me. I'd once again like to take this opportunity to thank the community of Mission Viejo, whose support of our Standard Bearer team has helped the Marines and sailors of the Standard Bearers throughout the years. We appreciate the role you play in our mission to support 1st Marine Division. As always on this Memorial Day, you can rest assured that the Standard Bearers remain ready to fight and win. Thank you, and Semper Fidelis.
Well, thank you, Colonel Folsom, for your service and for sharing your message with all of us here in Mission Viejo. Our guest speaker today is Brigadier General of the California State Guard, Denton Knapp. Brigadier General Knapp served for more than 3 decades as an infantry officer in the U.S. Army and joint assignments. He retired honorably from active duty as a colonel in May 2017. He continues to serve as a brigadier general in the California National Guard. Among his many military assignments, He served as director of the U.S. Army's Center for the Army Professions and Ethic, commanded NATO's Regional Support Command East in Afghanistan, and led programs at the U.S. Special Operations Command and the Army Training and Doctrine Command for future concepts and capabilities. Brigadier General Knapp is decorated with the highest military awards, including the Defense Superior Service Medal, and currently serves as director of the Tierney Center for Veteran Services at Goodwill Industries of Orange, where his team serves thousands of veterans and active duty members each and every day. He lives in Trabuco Canyon, but we'll welcome him here in Mission Viejo anytime, so please welcome our next speaker, Brigadier General Denton Knapp. General?
Just this past month, on April 7th, I commemorated the anniversary of my first day in combat. It's the day we went into Baghdad, city of over 5 million people, during the attack into the city to overthrow Saddam Hussein and the Iraqi army in 2003. I was the executive officer of Task Force 315 Infantry, 2nd Brigade, 3rd Infantry Division. So much like the great Marne Division dog-faced soldiers of the past, marched into France in World War I, Italy in World War II, and our invasion in Iraq, we did not do so without the loss of our fellow service members. This was the first time I'd have bullets aimed at me, the first time I witnessed the loss of soldiers under my command. On April 6th and 7th, we lost Sergeant First Class John Marshall, Staff Sergeant Tony Stever, and MDC reporter David Bloom. I played taps on a harmonica at the memorial service we held in Baghdad for our brothers. It brought home to me for the first time the cost of freedom. I saw many more deaths following. That first Memorial Day after redeploying was when I really understood what Memorial Day was about. It's not about those that made it back. It's about those we lost and their families that they left behind. The greatest generation, World War II, left us a legacy of selfless service to our nation and our allies. The amphibious landings on the beaches of Normandy remain unmatched in the complexity and enormity of combined and joint force operating in a single operation. The sacrifices made that day are not unlike the sacrifices that our soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines, and Coast Guardsmen make every day. As we continue to fight in the global war on terror, in places like Iraq, Syria, Afghanistan, Africa, Southeast Asia, and other places, we see that Americans are not done giving the ultimate sacrifice of their lives for the good of others. As long as we have a republic to defend, America will continue to give its sons and daughters in its defense. So we dedicated 31 May as Memorial Day. For many Americans, this is a long weekend, vacation time, boating at the lake, families with backyard barbecues, and you hear greetings of Happy Memorial Day. Thank you for your service. And they're often heard this weekend. Passed to our veterans and members of active duty service as a gesture of thanks and respect. Social media posts sport memes of any manner of military service. And this is all good, as we should celebrate our freedom to pursue happiness in our lives, thank those who volunteer to serve our great United States. But what is the true meaning of Memorial Day? According to the U.S. Department of Veterans Affairs, Memorial Day is a day of remembering and honoring military personnel who died in the service of their country, particularly those who died in battle or as a result of wounds sustained in that battle. 1,450,000 U.S. service members have been killed in combat, from our War of Independence to our conflicts in Iraq, Afghanistan, and our fight against ISIS. About 7% of the U.S. population are veterans, and less than 1% of the population currently serves in uniform. Although recognizing our living veterans is honorable at all times, this day is about honoring our brothers and sisters in arms who made the ultimate sacrifice and gave their lives for something greater than themselves. What I also learned is that this day is about those they've left behind, the Gold Star families, their spouses, their parents, their children, their siblings, their friends, and us. So how do you identify veterans and their families? You must ask. This year, ask the questions. Did you serve in the military? And do you have family? So is it really appropriate to say Happy Memorial Day? I offer that we ought to be reminding each other to have a worthy Memorial Day. Much like the scene from the movie Saving Private Ryan, when the captain, in his last breath, told Private Ryan, "Earn this." We ought to be living to ensure that we have earned the right to enjoy our freedoms we so graciously received from those who sacrificed so much for all of us. Their legacy is their loved ones left behind. The National Cemetery Administration launched the Veterans Legacy Program on Memorial Day in 2016. This program will establish an interactive database for each veteran who has passed, establishing a lasting legacy that is their picture, their story, and location for all to see. I challenge each of us this Memorial Day not to thank a veteran, but ask them about their battle buddies who didn't make it back. Talk to and thank a Gold Star spouse, child, and parents. Ask them about their veteran who sacrificed for all of us. I would give anything to be able to ask my grandfather about his time in World War II. He never talked about it, and we never asked. We honor their sacrifices by talking about their deeds, their relationships, and their lives. There's no greater fear for a service member than to be forgotten. And there's no greater gift we can give their families than to remember them. And it is exactly what those warriors who have passed would want us to do on this day of remembrance, to remember them. Most importantly, care for those left behind.
I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by, and weep not for the memories. And I'm so tired, I can't sleep. I'm standing on the edge of something much too deep. It's funny how we feel so much, but cannot say a word. We are screaming inside, oh, we can't be heard. And I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for the memory. I'm so afraid to love you, but I'm more afraid to lose. I'm clinging to a past that doesn't let me choose. Once there was a darkness, a deep and endless night. You gave me everything you had, oh, you gave me life. And I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for the memories. And I will remember you. Will you remember me? Don't let your life pass you by. Weep not for the memories.
Thank you, Brigadier General Knapp, for your moving speech. In 2006, the City of Mission Viejo adopted Headquarters Battalion, 1st Marine Division at Camp Pendleton. At that time, the Marine and Sailors Adoption Committee was formed to focus solely on supporting our Marines and their families. Over the years, the committee and countless volunteers and donors from our community have made a difference for our adopted battalion. And here today is Gail Wood, chairperson of the Marine and Sailors Adoption Committee, and Sergeant Major Rosalia Schifo with a message for our community.
Hello, I'm Gail Wood, chairperson of the Mission Viejo Marine and Sailors Adoption Committee.
And I'm Sergeant Major Rosalia Schifo, the Battalion Sergeant Major for Headquarters Battalion, 1st Marine Division, Camp Pendleton.
The mission of the Marine and Sailors Adoption Committee is to make a positive impact in the lives of the men and women of Headquarters Battalion who courageously protect our freedoms and to show them that the community has their back when they are at home and deployed.
On behalf of the Marines, sailors, and families of Headquarters Battalion, we deeply appreciate the support and generosity the community has shown us over the years. It is to comfort to know the City of Mission Viejo has our backs at home and abroad. Thank you, Mission Viejo. Semper Fidelis.
This Memorial Day, along with the tribute banner display, the city is demonstrating respect for the military uniform. For service members from all branches, military uniforms promote a sense of belonging, representing values, patriotism, American ideals, and devotion to duty in the service of our country. The City of Mission Viejo invites the public to engage in a virtual educational tour to learn more about history and pride associated with U.S. military uniforms. Links to these online tours are available at the city's website at cityofmissionviejo.org and on the event program at the end of this presentation. Thank you for supporting our men and women in uniform. In closing, if you are moved to support the Marine Adoption Committee and the programs we provide to our adopted battalions, such as care packages for deployed troops, holiday programs for the men and women stationed at Camp Pendleton, baby baskets for our expecting Marine families, and many other services and programs, please make a tax-deductible donation to the Mission Viejo Community Foundation. Please indicate Adoption Committee in your donation note field. Your contributions allow volunteers to be successful in providing these much-needed programs, services, and events for our adopted battalion.
Thank you, Gail and Sergeant Major Schifo. Thank you for joining us today in honoring the valor and sacrifices of so many. We remember the men and women who gave their lives so that others might live. And to our World War II veterans, our Korean War veterans, our Vietnam War veterans, our Gulf War veterans, and our War on Terror veterans, thank you for your service. We will close this ceremony with Dawn singing the Battle Hymn of the Republic, followed by the 3-volley rifle salute and taps. Stay safe and healthy. Enjoy the online educational tours of military uniforms, and may God bless you.
Mine eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He hath loosed the fateful lightning of his terrible swift sword. His truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. In the beauty of the lilies, Christ was born across the sea, with the glory in his bosom that transfigures you and me. As he died to make men holy, let us live to make men free, while God marching on.
Hello, I'm Todd Spitzer, Orange County District Attorney. I'm honored to be with you today. Today we honor the memories of our fallen heroes. We will always be indebted to their sacrifices for our great nation. Their courage and the protection they gave all Americans today will never, ever be forgotten and will certainly be honored every year. The Orange County District Attorney's Office is committed to the caring for all of our military men and women who are left behind. And by taking care of the living today, we are honoring the dead. When our military personnel return home, some find themselves addicted to drugs. Some find themselves addicted to alcohol or struggling with mental illness or PTSD. And some, sadly, end up involved in the criminal justice system. But through our compassion at the District Attorney's Office and our loyalty to our veterans, we help break that cycle and make our communities safer through our Veterans Treatment Court. It was established to help them reclaim their lives, and we're proud to support them. Memorial Day goes far beyond the sacrifices of lives to safeguard our freedoms. It is a celebration of the resilience of the American people. God bless our veterans, our communities, and God bless the United States of America.